Greetings and welcome in, everybody. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're all having a fantastic day, night, week, weekend, whatever it might be when you're catching this, because this is what I call one of my half days, one of my uploads to YouTube that I did not stream directly originally. And we are just working from a Streamlabs recording that I'll be uploading from. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And as ever, I am not the best at this. If I do not make much commentary, please forgive me. I will do my best to keep it entertaining, and it will probably just be a short little recording, maybe an hour and a half-ish on duty. But I figured I'm just in the mood once again to get in to do things, so let's get at it. We're here for my character, Jason Langley, member of SAFR, firefighter. And yeah, just middle of the night, and I've been getting in the moods on my days off to do little bits here and there. Clocking in for a little bit after doing some fishing more often than not. No, not medical equipment. We wanted a personal locker. So yeah, I will do my best to keep it entertaining, keep it fun. We'll see what happens. I don't really need a parachute when we're not going to be able to get into Angel 1, but oh well. Such is life. Foxtrot 75 is 1041, attaching to engine 1.
Good morning, welcome aboard. There's been no calls. I'm doing academy stuff. Yeah, it's great.
Well, hello again, how are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just trying to work out what we're doing with academy.
To see you in your native habitat for a change.
Well, I got new pictures, so something new to look at for a while. Oh, okay. I'm trying to work out cases like I need to update the map for the academy document, and I'm like, why? And now I just realized because she needs to take like MCI off of it.
Oh, you're not going to do that as part of academy anymore?
No. Most feedback we got is that it terrified most people, so it's meant to be a fun, like, team building, like, activity, but it turns out that it was just really scary, apparently.
I mean, I admit it did intimidate me a little bit. I didn't have much time, and definitely the driving course seemed more fun. So with the time I had, I chose that one first when other people did the MCI first.
Yeah.
So yeah, by the time the driving course was over, I really had to go, so I didn't get to do the second MCI class. It was intimidating, definitely, but I don't know. There's definitely a part of me that thinks it might have still been nice if I had gotten to it, because then I might have been better prepared for the first reel when I was in.
Yeah, I mean, it is all just meant to be fun. Like, that part is meant to be team building and just, being a little bit silly, because we don't get to be silly.
Right.
And yeah, like, but it's not like we're running, like, we're not doing like 4-hour academies anymore, but I think we do need to bear in mind that we might as well remove things that people aren't actually enjoying just because we enjoy it as well. Like, yes, do I enjoy being a victim in an MCI? Yeah, I love it, it's great fun. But that doesn't mean that everyone else does, so what we're just doing it for our own fun? That doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
So yeah, so that's going. And then obviously depending on sizes would be whether we have to have 2 off-road courses, because it obviously could be, if say it's not going to happen, but say all 15 turned up, that's a lot of people doing it all at once. There definitely won't be many ambulances making it back, so but yeah, I think it's looking at like 8, 9 and 8, but I know like some people have voted twice, so I'm just trying to work out whether we go ahead and do it tomorrow.
Right.
And just get the ball rolling, because it's one of those things, we could just wait till next week, but then I'm like, or we could just not. Like, I feel bad for them giving them a week to wait when we kind of technically could do it.
Right. It's also that, is it too short notice or not thing.
Yeah, well, that's why I put the vote out to them yesterday, to be like, look, if this is something, how many realistically could? And apparently there's, I think, 9 of them that said yes for tomorrow.
Okay.
And then 8 for next weekend, but then some of them are doubled. Like, some have voted for both because they can do both. And then there's only 2 that have said neither, which is obviously fine because it's not going to fit everybody, but...
Oh yeah, I just counted it up. We officially have 17 FTOs. Wow.
Yeah, it's not too terrible.
That's more than I expected.
And then we'll have another one. So Kane reached out yesterday wanting to become an FTO, so
Okay.
there'll be another one. I don't think there's anyone else coming through at any time soon, but... Okay, so that's done.
Haven't really got in here before. This is a nice view.
It can be interesting and get to see some exciting things sometimes.
I'm sure street racers come by frequently.
Not really.
No, really?
Not too often. There might be one that goes... Actually, I don't know. Yeah, I think there's one that goes past, like, DOJ. I don't think it comes past the front bounds, which is nice.
Okay. Can't remember the last time I saw you in the red.
Probably forever ago.
Exactly.
Oh, there's an officer. Oh, it's Mace.
Nah, yes. It's Speaking of which, I may as well let people know I'm available. I'm at least going to do a short shift before I come back later and do a longer one. I seriously doubt it. If there's anything I can help with, let me know.
I'm just like, I've got Casey going to bed. So, and then I need like people to be waking up. Although, let's face it, Ashton, Darcy, and Reese should very much be awake and responding. The funny thing that Talia is more responding than the three of them right now.
Yeah, I know, like, never see Talia, but I see how frequently she responds to people needing to talk to a supervisor, which is really nice of her.
Yeah. Yeah, no, she's a crazy one in regards to not sleeping, so.
Mm-hmm.
I actually need... There's a document that I can't find. Where it is. Oh, there is lots of food in the fridge. DOJ went crazy yesterday and made a lot of food.
Okay.
There is so much food that most of it is at the lifeguard station because I couldn't fit it all in the fridge.
Wow. Yeah. Okay, that is a damn lot of food.
Oh, and 80 bottles of water.
Okay. I didn't know about the food at the lifeguard station, but yes, I think if there was a lot of food in the fridge here, I missed it because I remember noticing all the bottles of water and going, what the fuck?
Yeah, so it's all kind of spread out. A lot of the water is in the shared cupboard, like the locker that's downstairs by the briefing room. And then obviously the food, because from like besties stuff in the like the sandwiches. So yeah, and then like I had to go, so I was like, Frank, can you grab like what's left and go and take it to the lifeguard station, and I'll drop the rest off later.
Someone just had a burr to make food or something?
I guess so. I guess DOJ were bored or something. And they were like, let's just cook like I'm talking about like 40 chilies.
Mm-hmm.
Like loads of food. I'm just like, okay.
Right. Well, I mentioned about my friend making turkey dinners and Thanksgiving for the government department the other day. Yeah, she personally made 100 dishes.
It's crazy.
Yep. What was her descriptor? It smells like Thanksgiving vomit in my kitchen.
Where, oh where? I find that now. I know it's somewhere.
What are you looking for?
There's Desi and Talia made a little guide for Academy last time.
Okay.
And I don't know where it is because it's not in the FTO Academy folder. Oh, actually, it wouldn't be in there, would it?
So did you ever have any like leadership roles before SAFR?
No.
Oh, wow.
I started here as a 21-year-old, meant to be traveling. This was my first stop, and I never left.
Oh, wow.
I decided to apply for a job just to see, and then I got it, and here we are 4 years later.
You're only 25?
Yep.
You are a young squirt, aren't you?
And baby chief. That's what Frank used to call me.
Yeah. Which is ironic that you're SAFR mom then.
Yeah, that always makes me giggle. Both my children are older than me, so yeah, I don't know. Work that one out. Huh, is it this one? No. Okay, Talia is also on the hunt for it. I don't think it's this one, but I think this one's different. I'll put that one over there with those tabs. Okay, next.
You're getting to the 101 point tabs in your phone, aren't you?
Oh, I have so many, all separated into different, like, things. It drives me mad. And then that one fateful day where, you know, my tablet decides to just delete them all, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. And here we go again, have to get them all out again.
So then, back when you joined SAFR, who was in charge?
Darcy.
Ah,
But
okay.
really the Surgeon General. So, like, Darcy was the rank of captain. And her boss was the Surgeon General. And then we had Addison, then we had Michael, and then we had me. And then when I came in, I separated us from Sam's, from under the Surgeon General, to make us our own department.
It does seem to make sense. It would be separate, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Michael started it, and it was what we were obviously going to do together before he stepped down. But he had to go sooner than than he expected. So I was like, he basically was like, it's up to you whether you keep at it or not. And so I decided to be crazy and carry on with it. Aha, she has found it. Perfect.
Nice.
But yeah, when I was here, obviously joined as a trainee, I was the guinea pig. There wasn't evals. There was ride along reports, but they were just like, did really well today. The one thing that was a struggle was I could only go with an FTO. I wasn't allowed to go with anyone else. So that wasn't fun. And back then there was no UBI.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was very much just stuck until an FTO was around to take me out. Wasn't great. But yeah, then I don't know why, but I made training my thing. And then I eventually just became the training lead without it actually being a thing.
Speaking of, out of curiosity, this, not the current academy, but the last one we had, did you end up actually taking anyone out as an FTO?
No, I didn't that time.
I would think you would prefer not to do stick to command stuff, but I was wondering if maybe because of scheduling or something like that.
It's more just the scaring them, in all honesty. Everyone that I have taken out after the fact, they've spoken to me after and they've told me that, yeah, they didn't enjoy that ride along, and it's like, there's no point me taking someone out if you're not going to enjoy it.
Yeah. I definitely felt daunted the most probably around Sarah, because her being CCP and she knew so much, but I think she did a good job offsetting it with her personality. I think for me, it would be the same if you had ever taken me out.
Yeah,
but
I think it's when you,
the idea.
like, as a trainee, when you don't know anyone, and my name is more powerful than me, which is weird, because I'm just me. Like, they don't understand. I always, I started where they were. I was them once.
Yeah.
Okay, so who owns this document? My guess is Desi.
That was, so close.
What?
No, local outside the window just impromptu decided to do a U-turn. He just barely missed the light pole.
Yeah, they're idiots out there. Yeah, there's normally a couple of accidents at the traffic lights.
Is Mace managing to stay on? Looks like it this time.
Let's see. Let's move that one over there as well.
After I left yesterday, did Frank get many calls?
He got one call. And yeah, then I had to go, and then I don't know when I think he went not long after I went, but it wasn't until probably like an hour after you went.
Do you know Darcy Grayson?
Used to be a receptionist at the hospital, works at Tobin's, and now is a nurse? But someone.
That's, yeah, I was going to mention, you got it. I only knew her as working with toe beans. I did not know she was a nurse. She's clocked in as a nurse right now.
Yeah. No, I think she yeah, she used to be a receptionist for these hours at the hospital, like admin stuff, and then then I didn't see her for a while, and only saw her at Tobin's. But then yeah, I not long before you clocked in, because I've been the only person clocked in for hours. That yeah, that I saw that she was around, and then Helena. So
Yeah, never knew she was a nurse as well.
I think it's a new thing. I think she's training.
Okay, yeah, it does list her as a trainee. Helena is clocked in as command. Do you interact with her much?
I need to actually have a chat with her.
Okay.
But I think she wanted to have a chat with Seraphine, but I need to have a chat with Seraphine about something else, although kind of similar. Ugh.
Oh, I think they just opened a can of worms, huh?
Not really. I mean, things like, so the Board of Medicine is changing. I'm now the only SAFR member on the Board of Medicine, which is fine, but I need to talk to Seraphine about all of that, because it's all to do with psych now.
Yeah,
and I need to talk to Helena about, we were talking about maybe doing a course for people that might be interested in dealing with psych patients, because some people are. It's not for everyone, so it's not going to be compulsory, but to work out what we can do. And then because there's talk of 5150s and whether it being something that we want to do if we, go down that route of voluntarily doing it.
Yeah, I saw something about psych is going to mainly private practice, I think.
Yes.
Will they still be using Parsons?
No idea. I need to talk to Seraphine about that, because I know she had ideas about it. But at the moment with the Board of Medicine, so I've been on it since day one. The majority of people have been therapists anyway. That's been the biggest people that have applied for their licenses, so it makes sense. There was one who kind of was a kind of GP, but not really. But I don't think he lasted very long.
Nah.
But yeah, so then I need to have a chat with her. But it's not urgent, so we shall see.
Huh. I didn't know Public Works did ride-alongs.
Yeah.
I think I heard someone, I don't even remember who, but does PD do it also?
Only for other government employees. So if you wanted to do that, you have to ask us. We say, yes, you're allowed to, and then you need to talk to their command or whatever, and then they have to say yes or no.
Okay. Sounds like a different sort of thing. Is there any official thing I have to do to ask you about it?
No, just you have to say, I'd really like to go on a ride along with PD at some point, and I go, okay. And then when they say, have you spoken to your command team? You say, yes, pilot said, okay.
Okay. May I go on a PD ride along at some point?
Yeah.
Thank
Knock
you.
yourself out. I've been on many. It's it's not very exciting. You just get left in a car most of the time. You just sit there staring at, a tree. You're like, oh.
Yeah, like I said,
That tree's
something
pretty.
different though.
It is. It definitely. I like it when PD come on ride-alongs with us, because they see I think the last person to come out with us was Sophia, and she was so shocked. She couldn't believe how much downtime we had.
Oh yeah, right.
And then how it changes in a second, how it goes from nothing to everything all at once.
Right. Yeah.
And then her other thing was everyone's so nice to us. And we're like, of course. she just found it so crazy that everyone is really nice, and it's like, yeah, well, your job is shit. Hello.
Yeah, it was interesting. One time I was really involved with some citizens shooting at me and Naomi when we were trying to attend to someone. Like a day or two later, Coral actually texted me. I guess she had friends with that group or something, or was at least in contact with some of them, and they actually reached out to her and said, hey, apologize to those two SAFR members that were on scene the other day. We really didn't want to get any shots near them, but we think we got close.
Yeah, I mean, it would be just nice if they just didn't, in all honesty, but,
Yeah.
Apparently they just can't help themselves.
Right. They really wanted to get their friend back, but it's like, your friend is being treated actively. It's not a good idea.
It's really funny. It's like, oh, did you want your friend to die? Oh.
We just wanted to make sure he didn't get jail time. Yeah, well, his jail time came at the expense of saving his life in the first place, so maybe jail's okay this time.
Yeah, it's like jail time or coffin time. What would you rather? What's more fun for you guys? Organising a funeral or going to visit him in Bolingbroke?
Mm-hmm. Shout on share, make us all text Dave. See how things get started on their end.
Oh, I just really don't want my desk to know.
It was looking at you funny. I saw it. It deserved it.
Yeah. What is he doing? Driving around.
Yeah, that was like what you were talking about, how Sophia saw the difference. It's like, yeah, they go out and patrol more often than we do. We are definitely more reactionary in our job. We have to wait till something happens, whereas they go out and look for something happening to find it.
Yeah, I mean, they have both, don't they? They have, they go and find it, and obviously they get the calls that come in, like the shots fired and stuff. So they kind of get, two. But, there really is nothing stopping any of us from going around and patrolling. We could spend our whole time just patrolling. But I think we're a bit more of a sociable bunch.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to actively be, chasing something like PD do.
Right.
Mostly their own tails, but, I hate clocks changing. Because it means if Academy's tomorrow, I'm going to be like an hour late. Whereas if it wasn't fucking daylight saving, or it was for me, it would be the normal time. But because we're in that weird 2-week period of being different.
Right. Everyone's brain is a little bit different this time of year.
I'm going to have to make sure someone else is going to be available for that first hour.
Right. Me, I still think of where I came from, Southern California, West Coast. So, yeah, my brain's locked in that mindset.
Yeah. I'm not really very good at converting it, but yeah, this is the only time of year where I'm just like, ah. And normally it would be fine, but of course, the one Saturday that there are plans for that particular hour. Oh my god!
Nope.
Oh, it's not even for us.
Nope.
Dave, you've got a call.
I think you just got carjacked at the gas station, looks like.
He's speeding like he's never speeded before.
Worked out he was nearby there, too. So on Dave's end, he just said he's passed along my interest to command. If they approve me, a sergeant can reach out to schedule. So pretty simple,
Wow.
sounds like.
Yeah, it is pretty simple. It's just something that not everyone like wants to do. Oh. Interesting. Oh my god.
Wow.
They'd be zooming.
That's what I was just gonna say. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Good lord.
I do believe that they might be speeding.
Did they steal a fucking car,
Space
bike,
rocket.
or a space rocket? Yeah, exactly. I mean, at this point, Dave might just want to go north and hope they turn the freeway north and try and intercept.
Nice. I'm gonna go around. Oh, okay, yeah, so he can cut in at David, yeah. Gone through the construction. Because they also have, actually, we're dependent if it's been flagged as stolen, but they have, like, little cameras as well. So he probably already saw that it had turned. If...
Oh, looks like he just missed him.
Yep.
Oh, poor Dave.
Okay. So I need to actually work out. Okay, you're getting a bit annoying now. Please stop.
Dave chose the wrong way.
Why did Ed vote? Why is Ed like this?
What did it do?
Ed is not a trainee.
What did he do?
Ed voted on the academy day. Okay, so yeah, definitely more of them can do it tomorrow. So it's only... So it'd only be Richard and Kamal? No. Yes. Richard and Camilla that can't do this Saturday. And then... can't do either, okay. So... I need some people to wake up so that I can see if I can do things or not. And then if I can, then Academy can be tomorrow, and then we can get trainees, and it'll be really exciting. Wow. Oh, shite. Need to look at the... trainee tracker. Ah, did Reese already do it?
Do what?
It's the trainee tracker. So there's a whole nother like document where all the ride-alongs go into individual files. So that me and Ryan can like go into people individually and like check them, see what they need help with, and then reach out to the FTOs and say like such and such needs more work on this. Oh, I need to go through who wants... Which ones were the ones that wanted to do fire? I don't know.
Oh, do you guys already... Oh, right, it's part of the interview, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, like when they apply, they obviously like say what they want to do, or what they, in theory, want to do, but then that changes.
So at the start, like right now, how many were fire interested?
I think only 4. How many? I think there were a few more, but they didn't make it.
No.
Unfortunately.
Ouch.
Okay, so Andrew is fire.
Oh, so we'll
Other
have an
Andrew is
EMT,
medical.
fire, and a fire Andrew.
And another medical Andrew, because there's 2 Andrews.
Oh.
Carmela's going to be medical. David, medical. Oh, Helena.
I don't know if anyone
Hello.
else is. Oh,
No, just doing out academy stuff.
I'll give you some privacy.
I know. Oh, I know.
Like to eavesdrop, but that wouldn't be polite. New picture here. Looked at most of them already. I haven't seen that one. Is that Reese or
Where
Ryan?
did you go, Jason?
10-9? 10-9?
Do you like make up some different ones? That's no problem at all. Easy peasy. All right. Speak to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Could you go over to the hospital? So Darcy, yes, she's a trainee nurse, and Helena would like some of our wonderful handovers that we do, because she's never experienced one. Because like she hasn't had any patients yet, let alone us to hand over anyone. So just when we go over and we hand over to.
Right, basically the rundown to this is what happened, this is the treatment we've done.
So just
that sort
make
of
up,
thing.
make up a couple of. Well, a few, I guess. I don't know until you get a call, maybe, or you get bored.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, thank you.
No problem. Engine 1 is 1076 to Pillbox for some trainee assistance.
To N4.
It's kind of cool. Something a little bit different. Which one? I bet call's going to come in right now. That's a citizen. Catching all the lights. Hello.
Oh, sorry, we were upstairs.
Yeah, no worries. I just got here.
Follow me. He was downstairs. I just don't want. I don't want patients to come in and see us role playing with each other and be like, "What the fuck are these nerds doing?"
Hi, Jason. How are
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good to hear.
Very coincidental to see you around doing stuff. Huh?
Yeah, I texted you earlier. I didn't know you were a nurse trainee.
Yeah, no, I was training.
He's been stuck in training for decades at this rate.
Yes, because no one's ever around at the time I'm awake.
That's why we're resorting to having some scenario-based things for her.
Should I just make something up on the spot?
Yes, I am
Okay.
going to be patient.
Okay.
Oh gosh.
Don't let me die, Darcy.
I hope the bed is comfy.
We're going for like Cat 1 deals.
Cat 1. Okay. I've not got a lot of them personally, but I think I can come up with something. So on our end, it would be something like a patient was in an MVA. We did apply a C-collar as precautionary. There is a massive head wound. Applied saline, covered with gauze and bandaging. I am not a paramedic. I cannot do darts. However, I have noticed some irregularities in the chest. I am suspecting a possible pneumo or hemothorax based on the difficulty breathing. That's why I also use an O2 mask and also use an NPA to try to help stabilize breathing. Then something like a Cat 1 would maybe also include right leg has a compound fracture, bone sticking through the skin. So we secured that in place with saline, wrapped gauze and bandaging around that as well, and then splinted the leg to try to keep it stable. Something along those lines. Would also probably include concussion test, whether or not they passed it. In the case of a Cat 1, they would usually be unconscious, so I would just have pupil reaction to go by. Would not be able to ask many questions. I would mention that as well.
Okay. You said you did a concussion test?
Yeah, concussion test.
So,
the eyes.
how'd the pupil reaction go?
The pupil reaction was not normal, so I do believe there would be a concussion. Just could not confirm it with any questions.
Helen's doing a really good job at pretending to be concussed while knocked out. It's very cool.
Letting the ego take over.
No, that's some very impressive eye control. Okay, I'll be honest. So I heard you said NVA applied C.
NPA along with the O2 mask. Don't ask me to pronounce NPA. It is a additional airway adjunct that can be applied through the nose in addition to the O2 mask to help try to stabilize breathing. Can you pronounce it, Helena?
No.
Exactly. I don't think anyone
fancy
can.
Oxygen mask.
Yes.
Fancy oxygen mask.
Yeah. So we have 4 things to deal with oxygen: the O2 mask, the NPA, the OPA, and the eye gel. Different ones are used in different situations depending on whether or not there's a gag reflex involved or not. But basically it all comes down to the more of those you need to use, the more difficulty they were probably having breathing.
Right, so first things first, there is they're unconscious, difficulty breathing, massive head wound.
And I believe a pneumo or hemothorax based on the rise and fall of the lungs not being equal and adequate. This is one thing you'll get on our end. I am an AEMT. I am not a paramedic. Paramedics can actually dart to try to help remove the air or the blood out of the lungs. I am not that level, so when I suspect that stuff, I do all the treatment I can, and then I just haul ass to get them here as quick as possible to let you guys handle it.
All right. So we're dealing with pneumohemothorax, a right leg compound fracture, which you've put saline, gauze, and splintered the leg to try and keep it stable. A massive head wound that is likely a concussion. And for the difficulty breathing, you've currently got a fancy O2 mask to help with that. Right leg has the stabilization. Concussion test. There's not really much you can do aside from check for concussion from the pupils. Are those the 3 that you've essentially just said?
Yep.
Was there another injury I'm not thinking of?
I mentioned I applied the C-collar as precautionary because it was an MVA. That's standard on our end.
C-collar.
Yeah.
We're stabilizing the neck and spine.
Alright, I guess in this case I would have to deal with the pneumothorax first.
Do you want me to explain the difference between a hemo and a pneumo?
Yes, please.
So a hemothorax is when blood gets... So that we have the plural spaces. I think it's a lovely word. It's like the little space in between our lungs. So a hemo is when blood gets into that space. And a pneumo is when air gets into that space and then puts pressure on the lungs. So hemo is blood, pneumo is air. But they're both are going to compress on the lungs and cause issues of breathing anyways. Hemo, you need to be careful that the person's not going to start choking on their blood. Pneumo can be like open or close. It can be caused by chest injury. So maybe if, I don't know, it's not necessarily like a trauma thing like gunshots or stabs. It could be maybe like an MVA, like they've had a really hard compression injury to the chest. It can cause everything to knock about the place. But since we're having air leak, it means that the air is not, being able to perfuse, is not coming in and out. So in that case, we need to assess that, make sure that that's okay. We don't need to put a drain in if it's just a pneumo. That's when we use that big scary needle that you were talking about earlier to draw the air out if we need to.
Yeah.
Big scary needle.
And I would do the EFOS scan that you were talking about to
Yeah,
check
check
whether or not it
internal
was
injuries.
pneumo.
You missed
Yeah.
one other vital thing we need to do before Jason runs off to save somebody else from a burning fire. We need to ask if
Was
he
it
has an
MDT?
ID on the patient. Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, yes. Since I was
Yes.
making it up, I didn't think of that. But
You're
yeah,
good.
I would normally report that if I did have it. If not, I would tell you that I don't have it.
All right. How would I figure out the ID of a patient if would I just go through their pockets and try and check?
So if PD is here, we can ask them to go through their pockets and also make sure that they haven't got anything on them that is going to hurt us. If PD are not here, we will ask Nancy to have a quick little pat of their pockets to see if they have a wallet with IDs in it. If for whatever reason there's nothing there, we just treat them as a Jane or a John Doe. And we hope that by the time everything is done, someone comes in with an ID, somebody knows what's happening. But there have been cases where they do just have to be treated as a Jane or a John Doe. In that case, we do up a report, usually like in a document instead of on their MDT, and you'd pop it onto your desk, or we'd pop it in the email chain that we have for doctors and nurses, just outlining, hey, I've admitted this person to ICU, they're unconscious, don't have ID, but here's the report if you need it. If Jason tells us that they don't have ID and then we later get ID, we should tell them so then SAFR can do their reports as well.
Yes.
All right. ID. Do you happen to know? Is this a Jane?
In this case, yes, it's a Jane Doe. Did not get ID and
Oh,
they've been
gosh.
unconscious the entire time.
All right. So at that point, I'll probably ask Nancy to check through the pockets. Does Nancy? Hi, Nancy. Can you check through this pocket? With an ID. I heard about the voodoo doll. All right. All right. I guess I'll. I guess at this point it would just say, all right, cheese sticks. Crazy how you happen to hold an ID saying cheese sticks, but impressive. All right. Okay. So I'm kind of looking through the MDT just for anything that I need to know, right? Like in terms of any penicillin allergies or anything of that sort, or
No issues.
no issues. All right. In this case, I would guess I would check for particularly how the vitals are looking at the moment. And then afterwards, I would use the EFOS. Okay, so that's the one on the side of the bed, that little machine.
Then you have
Just
the
to
little
check.
probe.
Right, I will
Yeah, you're right.
grab that.
And officially, I would have gotten out of your way by now, just sticking around in case you wanted to do another scenario.
Oh, good. I'm gonna be a while. I'm just gonna check the screen. I think that's moving. And then coat the tip. So if I think it would be both the hemo and the pneumo. I guess in this case it would be what was it called again?
Which
I
one?
need the one that drains the blood, right? First, probably, and then afterwards I'd want to try and get some air in with the big scary needle.
So use the chest drain. So a chest drain can also remove air for us, or any other icky stuff that might be going on in there. I mean,
So I won't
in
need
some
to use a big scary needle.
No, I mean, I would say again, weird states. In some extreme cases, that there might be some insane amount of air in between the lungs, then you always can. But the chest drain will just take out anything that shouldn't be in there. Because you think about it, if the air is in there because it has nowhere to go and the pressure is building up, if you then give it an outlet with the tube, then it has somewhere to go. Your drain looks perfect. And now it's you can see all the blood, any icky stuff, and everything is starting to come through the tube.
Alright.
We're all just big water balloons at the end of the day.
Oh gosh.
Seek bloated sarcoprotoplasm.
Okay, so once it seems to kind of be okay, would I be doing another EFOS kind of scan to see how the progress is going, or would I just sort of once it seems to start kind of flowing, kind of
you can do another to confirm that the drain is doing what it needs to do, or maybe it's easier for you to see on the, because fast scan, it can be hard to see kind of with blood in the way, it can be hard to see the cause or like the internal injury sometimes. So maybe now that the blood is coming out, the fast scan can confirm that there's like a puncture to the lung, there's a laceration to the lung, you know, things like that, that if it would need to be sutured or not.
All right.
Hi, Blackfeet. What's up, baby?
Would this be something that I'd need surgery for if it's a tear to the left lung?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd need to call Dr. Z over or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And that would mean I'd need to prepare you with... Oh gosh, what was that thing again?
The sedation?
Yes, sedation. What was it? Was it a...
I mean, yes, propofol. You can also just tell Zelig that you've sedated the patient. You don't need to... We don't need to be using drug names if you can't remember off the top of your head. He knows what you're doing.
Oh, good. Right, so I'd let Dr. Zelig know in this case to,
Well, did SAFR start an IV, or would we need to start an IV?
I would help with starting an IV, so I would get the propofol to keep them sedated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm honestly, I'm a little stuck.
Okay. So in the bits that I sent you, I think there's a bit that it goes through in detail how we do IVs.
Alright.
And where I said that we're when we're palpitating for that vein, we're basically smacking the shit out of the inside of their
Oh
elbow.
yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, what does the TQ stand for?
Tourniquet.
Is a tourniquet. It's like but we have so SAFR have much bigger, scarier ones because they can tourniquet like a whole arm or a whole leg. But the little ones we use for IVs is like a big rubber band, and then you tie it and tighten it as hard as you can, and then it would hopefully make the veins come up to the surface. I was going to be mean and tell you I'm RH null, but I'm not going to. I don't know if you've noticed, Jason, but I was telling Darcy how, despite the fact that I think that blood type is like 0.05% of the population, it seems like all of that 0.5% lives in the state.
Oh, go figure.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
because a whole bunch of people will collectively pass out at random times together.
I have absolutely terrible veins, so you probably cannot see one, but most people, a tourniquet would be enough. You can tighten that and keep tightening it if there is any issues. If the person is conscious, you can ask them to make a fist as well, and if they kind of like tighten and loosen the fist with their hands, it can again promote the veins to come and say hi. Somebody might have issues with their veins not popping up for various reasons, but usually it's dehydration is the main one. If they're dehydrated, the veins like to go and hide, which is probably my fault because I never drink water.
All right.
If
So in this case, for cheese sticks, do they have good veins or
cheese
terrible veins?
cheese sticks is fine. Cheese sticks has veins.
It's their arteries that
Thank
are a
God they
problem.
have veins.
Get the clogged arteries. But if you are having issues and you can't find one at all, we do have other measures that we can take. But again, that would be asking Zelig, do we need to step up to the next level? Or again, hoping that somebody else is around, we can ask them to help as well. We have an IO line. I'm not sure if you've heard of one of those before. It's basically where we drill into the bone, which sounds scary.
Oh gosh.
And we feed the medication straight into our basically into the bone marrow that way, and it filters through our body in that capacity, which is really freaky. But it is the extreme case if for whatever reason we're not able to administer drugs another way.
Yeah, I think our CCPs are allowed to do that now. But that's definitely above my pay grade.
Right.
Yeah, I had oh my god, what was his name? Oh, we really know it. Was it Ashton? I think Ashton is still around, right?
Oh yeah, I just never see him, but yes.
No, maybe it wasn't Ashton. It was whoever basically came up with the CCP program.
Okay.
I had him come in and do a handover, and he used so many big words. Thankfully, I wasn't the doctor dealing with it. I was standing outside with Alex, and I was like, "Holy moly!"
Our official CCP lead is Reese.
Oh yeah, I think this was like some old ancient SAFR monk that just knows so much stuff.
Maybe Frank.
Oh, unfortunately, I know Frank too well.
Okay. I mean, yeah, Reese
I
is
think...
the CCP lead. He does definitely know the terms, but I think it wasn't a very English guy, right?
It was in English. No, but it wasn't Reese. I know Reese.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna irritate me. I'm gonna have to text Violet. Okay, so your IV is set up perfectly. So now you can set up the bag. I'm gonna text Violet because it's gonna irritate the frick out of me.
Yeah, I only know Ashton by name. I don't think I've ever met him in person, so I don't know if he's English or not.
Okay, the bag. I know this one is I think you said you need the one with saline with propofol. Is there a specific one, like the 3% saline or?
So we have a possible head injury. There's nothing wrong unless somebody has issues with sodium in their blood or whatever. You can use the 3% since we are dealing with
A head injury.
a head injury. It is Ashton. I was right.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, he was. Oh my god, there's so many words that I would not have known.
Would there be any other kind of like IVs you would say would work well in this situation for
So if there
If
was
there
any
were-
sort of extreme blood output in the chest drain, or if the the leg fracture, if it had any issues with any arteries and it's bleeding very strong, then we probably need to do a secondary IV for blood as well. But in this case, I'm going to say you're safe, or we can just use the saline and then you add the propofol to the drip on the saline.
All right. Yes, I can totally read the word propofol.
Oh, there's so many drug names that you read them and you have no idea.
All right. So that would that essentially be the most of the setup I would do for this surgery?
Mm-hmm. And
Okay.
then let's say Dr. Owl is here. He walks over and you're like, hey, I need you to take this guy to surgery. What are the basic details you're going to tell him before he takes him to surgery?
I would let him know that they have both a pneumo and a hemothorax, and I have essentially drained the fluids from inside already. It looks like it has got a tear to the left lung. They currently have a massive head wound with a possible concussion, just in case it affects any kind of thing they do. I'm sure he'll be able to see the C-collar around the neck, but I'll just mention there's a C-collar just to stabilize the neck and spine. And they are also dealing with a right leg compound fracture. And I've set up the IV to have 3% saline and propofol for
Yes.
the lung.
Perfect.
Okay.
And they've got no known
No
medical issues or anything.
issues. The name is Cheese 6. That's the most important part. Cheese 6 has great things.
Exactly.
Cheese 6 drinks more water than Helena.
Yeah, he
All
does. So in that case, you can hand it over to in all honesty, you could have handed this whole patient over to a doctor or asked for a doctor to help you with it, but we're going on these scenarios that maybe there isn't a doctor
It's a
around.
little bit busy. Yeah.
Or they're not able to or whatever. You obviously can go into surgery with them if you want to. A doctor is not just going to be like, sort out the leg. They're going to be like, oh, can you do this, that, and this to the leg? Can you flush and suction for me? They'll definitely walk you through what they need you to do.
All right. And then during the surgery, would we be doing anything for the right leg? I'd assume it's probably a bad idea to deal with the head wound while the surgery is occurring.
We would probably need to do better imaging to see what's going on in the brain. Since we've got no issues with like any bullets in the body, there's no issues with metal being on the inside. We could do an MRI to see what's going on in the brain. As long as there's no crazy internal bleeding, if it's just some swelling for a concussion, then we just treat it with mannitol. So that could be added to an IV. We use mannitol and they can just be monitored that way. With any sort of extreme concussions, though, we do need to try and keep them for observation. But again, you would hope Cheese Sticks goes to ICU. But again, there's some people here that are just like, you know what? I'm ready to go, guys.
Yeah. Alright, so would I also be doing any checks for the the head as well before the doctor takes over. In the case that Dr. Z is really, really busy and we're just trying to cover as much.
Just keeping monitoring vitals as much as you can in between what you're doing. It's hard to, keep looking up at the screen, but it's always good to keep an eye on things, especially if someone had some rough vitals. But other than the, just do what you can when you can, and then hand it over to Zelig or hand it over to a doctor. Again, if it's just too much and it's beyond what you're capable of at that moment, because sometimes there's things happening that I'm not able to process at that time, then I'll just hand the full thing to Zelig.
All right. I think I haven't dealt with broken bones yet either.
Okay.
Would I be
So
able to go through this as if the lung's been taken care of and
yeah, everything's
kind of...
all good.
All right.
You don't have to stay, by the way, Jason, unless you want to.
I do need probably to get going, but thanks for calling on me. Hope I was managed to help.
No, all good. You've
did.
given a lot of really good situations and scenarios for me to think about and embarrass myself over.
Well, yeah, I hope I didn't make you nervous staying here, but like I said, I wanted to stay in case you wanted to do another scenario, but yeah, I should get going.
Oh, good. Thank you. That was very helpful.
No problem. If you guys are around later, I'll probably be back after a few hours.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
okay.
take care.
Bye-bye.
It's kind of cool. Something a little bit different. Got to see Darcy. Always a bonus. Engine 1 is code 4 on training. This is back 10-8 OTB. They're in a chase now. They're in a chase now. That is a cool looking car. I like the colors on it. Yum. Oh, we got 3 now. 553's joined the fray. Keith Clapp. Foxtrot 75 to Echo Indirect.
Send it.
I'm going to 42 and be back in a few hours. Would you like me to put out an EMS alert for PD to know that you're unavailable, or what?
Yes, please. I'm gonna be heading out soon. That'd be perfect timing. Thank you.
Alrighty. If you're not going to be back then later, it was nice seeing you today, and hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. I should be back. I just don't know when later. We'll see.
Alright, well, I'll probably be on duty again in about 4 hours, so maybe see you then.
Okie dokie 10-4.
Show Foxtrot 75 detaching from engine 1 going 1042. Take care, be safe.
Thank you for your service. Liking that one. That's what I forgot. I forgot to get the fire extinguisher. Go figure. Some firefighter I am. All right. Thank you for being here. If you watched all through this, I appreciate you. I hope you do have a good rest of your day, week, weekend, night, whatever it might be. And it means a lot if you did watch all the way through this. I hope you did enjoy things, and sorry if I was too boring or quiet at times and missed opportunities to give any sort of narratives. But yeah, thank you for being here. You all take care. Let me get Jason into his spot before I end the recording. There we go. Here's his bunks personally. Take care. I love you. Bye-bye.